Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Sick and the 6-Shot Gaming Channel. I have another Mortal Kombat 11 video for you today, and this video is going to be about basically how to get around plus frames moves in Mortal Kombat. So there's going to be certain characters where they're going to frame trap you, and we're going to go over the explanation of the frame trap and what do you do, how you get around it, so on and so forth, because these characters live and die by frame trapping you, and you might get stuck on what to do. So, but with that being said, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, check out some of the past content, make sure to hit the notification bell to get alerted every time I drop a new vid for y'all. Also, if you want to help support my channel any type of way at all, make sure to check the box below. But anyways, let's get started with this video. So Shao Kahn has two moves that gives him at least +6 on block, and this is very plus frame moves. So it's his forward 4 gives you +6 on block, and then his 4-4 gives +6 on block as well. Now the defend against both these moves is a little bit different, but if you block any one of these moves, don't press buttons after. Alright, so normally when your opponent does a string, a lot of the times they're going to be negative. Like 2-1 is -5, as you can see. So a lot of the times, if they don't finish the string out, you could try to take your advantage back by poking them. Like, you don't want them to stagger pressure you to death, so you will poke them like with a down jab or a down 3 or anything that's fast enough to take advantage of the -5 frames that they have, right? So if they -5, so they down -5 like that, they shouldn't want to really press their offense. So you could do anything, as you just saw on the screen, to retake your turn if your opponent's going to try to steal back their offense, right? So Shao Kahn forward 4 is a plus frame move that gives him advantage, and it's +6. So basically what that means is your opponent tries to do anything after that and use the right move that's within that frames to beat out your opponent, you will always beat out your opponent. So if your opponent tries to down jab you or anything like that, if you do the right move, you will always beat out your opponent. So we're going to talk about the frames real quick. So this move, con kick, is +6. So what this really means is that if your opponent blocks his move, then their next move that they do is going to come out 6 frames slower. So I could take advantage with that, right? I have a mid move that is 10 frames, right? So essentially, if I do this move, you could think of it like this. If I do this move, if I do forward 4 and they block the move and I'm +6, and then if I use the forward 3, which is 10 frames, if you really think about it, then that move is going to come out in 4 frames, or whatever move my opponent does is going to come out 6 frames slower. So say if they have a 8 frame down jab, then it's going to come out in 16 frames, and so on and so forth. One of the better ways to deal with a plus frame move is by flawless blocking it, because if you flawless block it, you have a short window where you could do a launcher or a safe type move from it. So if you can flawless block the move, I definitely recommend for you to flawless block it. But flawless blocking does take a really good timing and a lot of skill. So if your time is not on point, it's probably going to be pretty hard for you to flawless block, especially a singular move like that. Like right now, this is me trying to flawless block it, and for some reason at this moment I couldn't get it down at all. So the timing is strict. So another way you could deal with being under a plus frame situation is flawless blocking the move that comes directly after it. So as you just see, I blocked the forward 4 and flawless block the follow move from there, and then I launch from there from the follow move. So that's another thing you could do to punish or get around the situation. Only thing is that if your opponent reads this, they can easily just go in for a throw and so on and so forth. So you gotta be careful when trying to do this. So right now I'm gonna teach you another way to get around plus frames moves. So if you block Shao Kahn's forward 4 and you're crouch blocking, you're not going to be able to do anything against it, right? If you crouch block this move, you're not going to be able to do anything against it. You just have to, besides like flawless blocking, you just have to eat the mix up. But if you stand block it, you're going to get pushed back enough where you're able to backdash and punish the move. So if you stand block it just like so, not right there, but if you stand block it just like so, right here, right, and you backdash as a reversal, you're going to be out of range of whatever follow-up they had. Maybe not shoulder, but whatever other follow-up they have, and you can punish just like so. But this is not the case with every single plus frame move. Shao Kahn's 4-4 does not get that amount of pushback where you could backdash after. So when you block the forward 4, it has enough pushback. But when you block the 4-4, it keeps you right in your range where you cannot backdash, and the next move that he gonna follow it with is gonna hit you. So just keep that in mind. Sub-Zero is another character with a plus frame move. His forward 4 is +4 unblock. Now, it's not as great as Shao Kahn's, but it's pretty good as well. The only problem with Sub-Zero is that he don't really have that much to follow up with. He don't have a really fast mid. So his best mid is his down 1. Then he has a low, his down 3. His sweep is pretty okay for this. And his down 4 is okay. So any of these moves a Sub-Zero player will probably do after, because his next mids is not going to be fast enough. So with Sub, if you block his forward 4, it doesn't give you no pushback. So this is one of the moves that doesn't really give you pushback. So if you try to like do anything to interrupt them, you won't interrupt them at all. And then if you try to like backdash, you're not going to be able to backdash. So just keep that in mind. So the best thing for you to do if you see a forward 4 coming from Sub-Zero and you're in that range to react is to flawless block punish it just like so. That's the best way you're going to get around this move, because yeah. So Liu Kang has a plus frame string as well, and is forward 4, 3, up 3, and the last hit is what's the plus frames, and it's +4 on when you block it. Now, the only thing is there's a gap in between the second and last hit, and you can interrupt your the Liu Kang player in between the second to last hit. The only thing is Liu Kang has like follow-ups he could do to make sure, like he has a parry, so if you try to interrupt with it and he does a parry, you will get hit, or he has a low fireball where you can't interrupt at all if you press the buttons. So just remember that. But if you do block this move, you're in the same situation. If you stand block the move, you're in the same situation where you're far enough where you could backdash and punish the Liu Kang player if they go for another forward 4, because this forward 4 is a mid that is 9 frames. So it's like one of the better mids in the game. So if you're in that situation and you stand block it, you can backdash, but if you low block it, you can't backdash. So just remember, the same principles that apply with the Shao Kahn forward 4 can be applied with Liu Kang's forward 4, 3, up 3 string. So just remember that, because it's very important when you play against a Liu Kang player. So another thing you could do against the final hit is flawless block the final hit and punish just like so. That's something else you could do. Now, Scarlet has a plus frame move as well, which is her 4-4. And her 4-4 gives you +6 frame advantage. Now, if you really look at it though, these are two highs. It's a high. So, obviously, you can duck the high, right? So, as we're going to show, boom, you can duck it and punish easily. But if you try to block the first high and then duck the second high, you can't, because it jails. So just eliminate that out of your mind. All right. Now, another thing about this move is if you low block it, you still get pushed back, but you don't get pushed back as far as you would, because this plus frame move is a little bit tricky than the other ones, because it gives you a lot of pushback. a lot of pushback. So if you low block it, you're not going to be able to backdash. But if you stand block it, you're already kind of not in range of any of her moves. So you can easily backdash, or you can even just walk back a little bit to punish whatever try to follow up she does from there. Because if you try to backdash and then try to like attack from there, it's going to be a little hard because she's way out of range. But if you walk back just a little bit, you can punish just like so. So keep that in mind. So yeah, folks, that's pretty much the end of the road for this video. Mortal Kombat 11, how to deal with plus frames. These are just some key examples of how to deal with some plus frames in Mortal Kombat. There are a lot of players out there that don't know what to do when they get hit with a plus frame move, and they still trying to like jab you out and so on and so forth. So hopefully this video should help you. And yeah, if you learned something new and the video is very useful, please subscribe, check out some of the past content. Make sure to hit the notification bell to get alerted every time I drop a new vid for y'all. If you want to help support my channel in any type of way at all, check the description box below to go do so. But like anyways, people, I hope all of you have a nice day. Peace.